Hopefully not me. I'll be too busy trying to rein y'all in.
Okay. No, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be very efficient with my words.
I always behave. You
You
believe
look like
that?
I'm
I have a
giving you
bridge
all.
to sell you.
Let me see. Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Citizen. This is episode 113, and today we're discussing the ARK Starmap, Fact and Fiction. Today I'm joined with my special guest, Dr. Murray. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. Hello.
And you want to tell us about what you do and where you're from?
I am a co-host and original founding member of the Yacht Club. I just say that to annoy Ariana now. Yeah, so we do a show every Wednesday night at 1900 Pacific time. That's 2200 Eastern time. Go for a couple hours. We talk about all the events that happened in Star Citizen this week, or try to, and then we show off a bunch of screenshots.
And also today I'm joined by two co-hosts, not one, but two. I'm joined by Kelosal. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, fastcart. How you doing, buddy?
All right, how's your week been?
Interesting, to say the least. Other than that, fantastic.
And I'm also joined by JadeStarwatchr. It's been a while, Jade. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm really hyped up for my favorite Star Citizen topic.
Yeah, you were so hyped up that on Thursday you were like, "Oh, I hope I can be on that one." And you're like, "Yeah, you are."
Thank you.
So, how your week been well too?
Yes, it has. It has. I've like finally completed getting the last of my things from my old place. It's taken a while, but now I'm good. So yeah.
Cool. All right, like I said today we're talking about the ARK Starmap, and I think we're going to get probably started. So let's talk about Astronomy 101 for 2952. Who wants to take that that first one?
I'll
The
take
star
it.
types.
I'll take
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Hey,
So,
thanks for the
If you
subscription.
didn't know, oh, thanks for the subscription. Stars are about as diverse as anything in our universe, falling into one of many different classifications based on their defining characteristics. All in all, there are many different types of stars, ranging from tiny, failed stars called brown dwarfs to red and blue supergiants. there are even more bizarre kinds of stars like neutron stars and Wolf-Rayet stars. And as our exploration of the universe continues, we continue to learn new things about stars that force us to expand on the way we think of them. Let's take a look at all the different types of stars there are.
Yep, let's take a look.
So stars are grouped into what are called spectral classes, and they're assigned a letter. And the largest, hottest ones are blue. They're the O-type stars, and they are very, very bright, very very short-lived. These are the stars that would go supernova. And then below them, we have B. So like the O-type star would be like Pen Lacerta. B would be a star like Rigel. And then below them, we have A, like Sirius. And all these stars so far would be, relatively blue. Below A-type stars, you have F, which are blue-white stars, sort of like Procyon. And then you have G-type stars, which you should be very familiar with because you see one come up every day, our sun. Sure, yellow, white, yellow, however you want to say it.
I'm indoors all the time. I don't see one every day.
Below them, they're slightly cooler, less massive stars called K-type stars. They're orange-red, like Arcturus would be a good example of one. And below them are probably my favorite type of star, M dwarfs, or M spectral class. We call them red dwarfs. And those types of stars are the longest living stars. They're very, very dim. They're like 1/100th the brightness maximum of our sun.
Is
And
that pronounced
the reason we're
Betelgeuse or
giving- the reason-
Beetlejuice or what?
What's oh yeah. Beetle. Yeah, so like
Beetlejuice.
right, Beetlejuice.
Okay.
It's
One
the
of the
same many
reasons,
times.
yeah, right.
I
One
was
of the
going to ask
reasons.
you, can you tell us, can you tell us why M class are your favorite? Is it just because of the name Red Dwarf?
Well, no, it's because there's so many of them. They're the most common type of star in the universe, and they're going to outlast all the stars above them. So it's kind of cool that they would be around like at the end of the universe. And one of the reasons we're giving you this information is because on the ARK Starmap, which is the subject of today's show, they actually use real spectral classes for the different star systems in Star Citizen. And the type of star that your planet's orbit around will have an impact on what you're going to see in those systems, and maybe on what kind of suit you have to take out. Like if you're in Pyro and you have X-class pyro flares with X-rays, you're going to need like a radiation proof suit, like say things like that have a real game effect.
Folks, I was really mad. We are 23 followers from 2,000, and at 2,000, we're going to give away a whole C. So if we get 23 more followers on Twitch, I'm doing a giveaway. So hit that follow button if you're around. So
Just 23, folks. Just 23. Call your friends, call your wives, call your husbands, your brothers, your sisters, even your grandparents. They can see. Go ahead and get them out of the bed. They can even hear it. Just 23 followers, guys. Greatly appreciate it. We know you're a great community.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention they even recently introduced a radiation suit on ISC. And if you're interested in any of this spectral class stuff, I urge you to Google the Harvard computers, all in quotes. The group of women back in the 1800s that literally were at Harvard, and they came up with this system.
No, I'm not an astrophysicist, or I studied some astronomy, but I didn't go like college deep into it. But my question is, these letters for these star types, do they follow any kind of pattern, or do they like for some language that I don't, I'm not sure of? Do you know why they have letters?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, because originally before there were a bunch more letters, right?
For the subscription.
Thanks for the subscription.
There
There are a bunch more letters that the astronomer Henry Draper had created a system. And what ended up happening was, as they learned more, those other letters got dropped, I believe, by Henrietta Swan Leavitt of one of the Harvard computers. And so the system that we use now, that's been used like since then, only has these letters. There are other letters for things that aren't on here, like brown dwarfs would be like a L or a T type, but there's no brown dwarf in Star Citizen, so we're not going to talk about them.
Okay, that's fair.
Fake ass
Costa,
stars,
thank you for the
anyways.
follow.
Thanks for the
Appreciate it.
follow.
All right, so
And,
no, we
and
can't-
O class
can't-
stars are the best stars, not M class. O
Live
class.
fast, die hard. I see how you roll.
Hypernova is all that I'm going for.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. So up next we have the habitable zones. Kelosal, you want to take that? Want to take that?
So habitable zones, the definition of a habitable zone is the distance from a star at which liquid water could exist on orbiting planets' surfaces. Habitable zones are also known as Goldilocks zones, where conditions might be just right, neither too hot nor too cold for life. Interesting.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they call them, if you watch Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy, they sometimes even call them green zones.
Yeah,
band.
they literally put them in a green zone on,
Yeah.
on a map in some places. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they call it, a green
If you
zone.
if you go to the ARK Starmap, that's that green zone that you see around the star. That's the star's circumstellar habitable zone, or just habitable zone, or Goldilocks zone.
Now it is possible for something for life to exist outside the Goldilocks zone. It's just not as likely.
Absolutely. I mean, even in our own solar system, they want to search for life on some of the ocean moons of the outer planets, because you can have tidal heating due to tidal gravitational forces warming up that ice as the moons. I mean, we literally have a moon called Enceladus that orbits Saturn. It's spraying water out
Yeah.
into space, right? So
And Europa is an ice ball with a water core
yeah,
that
exactly.
we can see.
And it's also affected, what we talk about, this is just talking about the radiation or the heat from the star, but a habitable zone can also be not just the star, but taking in the characteristics of the planet. Like if you have outgassing or volcanism that gives you the greenhouse effect, you could have that habitable zone stretched out a little bit further because you're keeping more heat in. So
What is the quick definition of volcanism again?
volcanism is when a volcano explodes.
Volcano.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
like
not
when
not
you
Spock.
live long and prosper.
That too.
Hey, we come to all type of knowledges here, so we have to explain these things. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
volcanism.
gonna oversimplify a lot of things. So
The basic concept of a habitable zone is kind of old in this day and age, because we understand that there are certain characteristics of moons and planets that can cause them to be habitable outside of the habitable zone. So
Right.
like the green bands are always going to be where they are based on the star, based on that, and there may not be any planets in the green zone. So
Mhm.
if we're going to be an extrastellar civilization, we have to learn how to colonize the outer region planets around gas giants, the small
yeah,
moons.
Delta Loda.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that the concept of the habitable zone is outdated. I would say that it's constantly evolving concept.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's constantly evolving.
We do. It's a useful tool, but it's what it is. It's a starting point to start talking about habitability.
Cool. All right. So up next we have exoplanet populations. Dr. Murray, you want to take that?
Righty. It says an exoplanet is any planet beyond our solar system. Most orbit other stars, but free-floating exoplanets called rogue planets orbit the galactic center and are untethered to any star. They also orbit stellar formations. So stars exhibit amount of gravity. Multiple stars together create enough gravity to create a large-scale, wide orbit of a rogue planet. So it doesn't just orbit the galactic core. Some of them go around these stellar nurseries. They go around these stellar bodies where there's a group of stars creating enough gravitational forces to pull them in.
Yep.
But
and rogue planets are thought to be common because they're part of so during star formation, planets form. Planets are
And get
basically a byproduct
zapped
of
out.
star formation. And because all the orbits are not stable when they're formed, some planets get ejected. In fact, our solar system probably had more planets than we currently have. And those planets that it ejected, either some of them went into the sun, other ones got sent out into interstellar space and just roaming the galaxy right now.
Yep.
So I have a,
Chilling.
it might be an off-topic question, or it might be an off-ball question, but is there a chance that Pluto can become a planet again?
I mean, it is a planet. It's a dwarf planet.
Well, it's a
Ceres,
binary.
No,
Ceres
it's a
was
dwarf
Ceres
planet,
was
but
the
it's not
first.
a planet.
Well, I mean, Ceres was the first planet that got demoted to being a dwarf planet. So it's not like
Right.
Pluto's the first. They're still planets. I prefer to call them worlds because I mean there are fascinating moons that if they
Yeah.
weren't orbiting a planet, we call them planets almost. So
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Kimmy, thank you for the raid.
Look, thanks for the raid,
Pluto-
Kimmy.
Welcome to the raid.
Pluto is a binary planet at this point because its
Chevron.
orbit with Charon, like the center of orbit is between it and Charon, so they're definitely in a binary pair. So we could call them a binary planet. We've never seen them any larger than that, but there are a few shadows that have been interpreted to be binary planets as well in other distant star systems. So,
The main reason that Pluto is not a planet is because it hasn't swept out its orbit. So that was like that was the defining line that the IAU put down, the International Astronomical Union put down to define like what a
People are
planet
still
is.
up in arms about that. They want Pluto to play planet and only be a
They want to
planet
finish those models.
Yeah.
If
They wanna
we
do those
just call
models.
them all worlds, we'll all be good.
yeah, Neptune hasn't cleared out its orbit either, but we still call it a planet.
I mean, and technically we've got Earth Trojans, but hey.
yeah. Nothing's a planet
So
anymore.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Pluto's a planet.
Next, we have a wormhole. I'll take that one. Wormhole is a special solution to the equation describing Einstein's theory of general relativity that connects two distant points in space or time via a tunnel. Ideally, the length of the tunnel is shorter than the distance between those 2 points, making the wormhole a kind of shortcut. Though they are a staple of science fiction and have captured the popular imagination, wormholes, as far as we know, are only hypothetical. They are a legitimate solution to general relativity, but scientists have never figured out a way to maintain a stable wormhole in the real universe. So yes, that was wormhole. So Colossal, what was the first time you ever heard of a wormhole or even some kind of shortcut between getting two places in space?
Star Wars, the motion picture. Star Trek, the motion picture, I believe. Star Trek.
Oh my
Star Trek.
God!
Star Trek.
Everyone's gonna go crazy in chat.
V'ger, I was a kid. That was the first time I saw something like that.
What?
Yeah, Star Trek, the motion picture. Star Trek. The first motion picture. V'ger, was it V'ger, I believe? Voyager was the satellite for that good stuff, blah, blah, blah.
I always pictured wormholes as some kind of wormhole, like in an apple.
The first time
yeah, that works.
I saw a wormhole in science fiction. I read the book before I saw the movie Contact. So that was the first time I saw that. I should also mention that while scientists haven't figured a way to create a wormhole, they know the properties that a wormhole would have to have, and it would require exotic matter known as negative mass matter. And there have been papers published since 2007. In fact, the most recent was in 2021, proposing searches, one using gravitational wave astronomy to actually see if you could find the signature, the expected signature or predicted signature of a wormhole. So if they're out there, they are looking for them.
And right now we're looking at the I think this is from CitizenCon. I forget what year, but they're displaying a demonstration of what a jump gate will look like and how they operate. This is a current run through one. I want to say this may be 2018. I forget the year, but yeah, this is a cool video back in the day.
Yeah, when I took astrophysics back in 2006, we were taught that wormholes are likely and possible, but they're probably very small, so they'll be very hard to detect.
Right.
So the idea of finding a wormhole, you always have to find the wormhole and then expand it enough that you can fit through it. And that's where exotic matter comes into play as well, because you need negative energy to expand space-time inside the wormhole to allow you to travel through it. And
What I love
as far
is
as we know, there's no such thing as that
right.
negative energy. Like,
Yeah, what I love is that there are multiple ways that they are thinking about like searching for these. I mean, like I mentioned,
Right.
gravitational wave scattering. There's also basically looking at microlensing data and seeing if you could find it through that, and stellar kinematics, or looking at the motion of a star, a little white dwarf that orbits the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. So like there are multiple ways that they could look to see if one actually exists. But as you said, if they do exist naturally, then their population is expected to be very low. But
Thanks for
even
the
very
subscription,
low in a
Leslie.
big universe doesn't mean that you can't find it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's almost infinite space, that means there's
Yeah.
probably an infinite.
There's probably a
number.
million. We say if you found one, you found a
Thanks
million.
for the subscription.
Yeah.
Thank you all looking for the subscription. And
my
I wanna
question
say
is-
thank you-
Go ahead, fastcart. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
No, real quick, I just want to say that thank you to Griffin for showing that Doctor Who video. I forgot about that. That was
That
real
was
funny.
My question is: do we know? Does anybody on this panel know how many wormholes exist, or at least could exist right now in the Stanton system or any other systems that we may currently get in the future?
Oh yeah,
Jump
and yeah, yeah, that's the reason we're talking about wormholes. Is in
Right.
our citizen language we call them jump points,
Mm-hmm.
and in Stanton there are, let's see, 7. No, sorry, that's no, I'm sorry. There
I think
are
there's 4.
yeah,
It's 4 in Stanton, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 in Stanton.
Okay. Which wormhole is
Alright.
anybody going to use the most? I'm staying away from that power one.
We may get to this on ARK Starmap, depending on where we're going to go. But we want to talk about Terra. Terra has like the most wormholes, right? In Star Citizen, the Terra system, not the planet, obviously.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking through. I think yeah, I know it has a lot. That's the one thing. Wow.
Yeah, I think I had like 4, and one of them connects to, well, one of them is close to Terra, but I don't think it's connected. Soul, I mean, but I don't think it's directly connect to Soul. But yeah, I believe that's why Terra became the center of the universe. But we'll get to that in a bit.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So up next we have
4.
what is the ARK? Jade, I think you're up next. You want to take
Sure.
that one?
Yes, the ARK is a vast library and archive station located in the United Empire of Earth, governs system of the TIAC system. It's the largest archive and library in the UEE, and the ARK houses records, curated information, and artifacts pertaining to the accumulated knowledge of all known spacefaring civilizations, except for the Vandal, because they didn't want to be it. The initial concept for the ARK, they were invited though. The initial concept for the ARK was presented to the UEE Senate in 2794 by the then diplomatic secretary Marshal Leon as a neutral information repository for the benefit of all cultures and civilizations. It was approved the same year and completed in 2800. The ARK Galactopedia and the ARK Starmap are 2 of its most utilized resources. And the quote is, opened by the UEE in 2800, the ARK was built following the massacre of Garan II, where a developing species was wiped out, and the fall of the Messer regime. It was intended to be a repository for universal knowledge, as well as a neutral ground for diplomatic discussions between species. Though it has been used infrequently for diplomatic purposes, the ARK's massive library contains a wealth of invaluable cultural and historical information.
Yep, that is the ARK. All right. Well, yeah, any thoughts about that?
Yeah. I know that the Banu were kind of like secretive about their, like, the way that they handle jump points and the knowledge of where jump points are. And I kind of, wonder what kind of negotiations they had to go on to get the Banu to give, them their information. And the fact that they actually invited the Vandal, even though they're at war with the Vandal, says that this definitely has a higher purpose.
Yeah, I can't imagine that went well. Like, hopefully, it was a transmission and not someone delivering a message. Because I can imagine how that person might have came back from the Vandal. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, they probably went through the Banu to get to them because the Banu trade with the Vandal.
that's a good point. That's an
Yeah, they
excellent
probably
point.
told the Banu no.
All right, so up next we have the freedom of information. Colossal, you want to take that one?
Freedom of information. At the dawn of the 29th century, a new center of knowledge and understanding was constructed. The ARK, not bound to any one place, species, or government, the ARK was established under a simple principle to provide a neutral repository for all galactic knowledge. A pet project of Imperator Marshal Leon, the desire was to usher in a new era of cooperation between species after hundreds of years of hostilities. Imperator Leon believed that the simplest path to peace was empathy and sought to unite the greatest mind of not only humanity, but also of the Xi'an, Banu, Tavaran, and even Vandul to endeavor towards this noble goal. Hold on. There are many hurdles along the way. The Senate refused funding when they learned the project was going to be run privately. Some vocal opponents were worried that the data shared would be used against humanity. The invitation to the Vandul incited calls of Imperial Leon's removal from office, yet despite all of that, the ARK was completed. And as we approach the institution's sesquicentennial, I hope I get it right, anniversary, it is hard to deny the positive impact that this incredible resource had on civilization. To this day, it continues to strive to present a holistic view of history, collecting as much knowledge as they can from as many sources as they can. Currently residing in the TIOC system, the ARK, the ARK and its team of dedicated archivists and researchers curate this information of the Galactopedia and the Star Map, invaluable tools that allow all beings to better understand the universe and find their way through it. The Vandul to date have not participated in the ARK program.
And folks, if you have any questions, please click the eclipse button down below. You can answer a question, ask a question, and we'll answer it at the end of the show. So go ahead if you have any questions. Go ahead and put those in. So thank you. And don't forget, we're still looking for followers for a giveaway. Hopefully, if we reach 2,000 followers tonight, we'll give away a whole sheet.
How many more we
So
need?
yeah. I have to look it up, but hopefully a little bit will tell it to the moment. But yeah, the freedom of information. That was a big deal. Unique. I said that all the humanity is giving away all this information for free, making us vulnerable, and they pointed that out as a worry in the lore. So yeah, that is a legitimate concern, especially when you're at war with a hostile species, right?
A little information ain't gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah, depends on the information.
A little bit.
I think with
ahead.
all these species, they're all, star traveling civilizations. So it's kind of like, well, they get this information themselves eventually. So why not just make it available to all? And then anybody who's got any secrets along the lines of, what's on the ARK Starmap, each culture could learn from each other so that everybody's knowledge increases. So I think that's sort of the thinking.
And I just learned we are 26 followers away from 2,000. So 26 followers, and then we'll get do a giveaway.
Nice.
I just want to remind you, some folks, that some of these information is dated from 2015. So some of it may be out of date or maybe hasn't been updated a while. But this is the information as we currently have it. But it is something that is from 2015. All right. So data sources. Dr. May, you want to take that one?
Which one? Data sources?
Yeah.
Okay. In addition to tracking celestial objects and jump point routing information, the star map incorporates demographic information from several trusted sources. Population. NID 2944 Population Assessment Report. Generated by the UEE Naval Intelligence Division every year, this report is intended to serve as a reference for Naval High Command, policymakers, senators, and planetary leaders. Point-in-time population estimates are derived utilizing data from UEE Census Bureau. UE Department of Development detailed orbital scans and naval on-site teams. Woo-hoo. Economy, J and P score. The Japa and Penner Economic Health Score has been an Empire standard for close to 3 centuries in evaluating the financial status of regions. Named for the firm who derived the ranking system, J and P scores take into account a myriad of factors such as trade, growth, debt, capital, etc., to assign letter grades ranging from F to an area with little potential to AAA to designate a hub of extraordinary economic value. Threat, TSAS. The advocacy complies crime statistics and casualty reports to create a travel safety advisory system, TSAS, to inform the public how dangerous they expect travel in certain sectors can be, with threat levels ranking from minimal danger to extreme danger.
It's amazing that the TSA is still exists in 2952. That's in a different name. So yeah, that is data sources, and again, we're going through all this information as a prelude to get to the star map to give people a background of what the star map is about, so and how it came to be. So that's just what we're doing here.
Would TSAS be available as soon as Pyro becomes available?
Right? Exactly. What would be the TSAS for Pyro, I wonder?
Moderate
Yeah.
danger. Moderate danger.
You think moderate?
danger.
Okay.
Chance of X-class solar flares. Yeah.
Right. Moderate.
Chance of P-class pirate raids.
Also want to remind people that CIG mentioned that heat maps are being part of this star map, so you can figure out when something hostile is going on by, or how hostile a system is by the heat map. So yeah, that's something they added a while ago. It didn't come out with the star map, but it was something they added a bit later. So they are iterating on the star map as time goes along. So yeah, so like that counts as violent trade lanes and pirate activities. So yeah, if you try to plot out a course and want to avoid trouble, the heat map is the way to go. All right.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Murray, you talk about the how much the map has changed over the years.
The map has changed quite a lot. It's gone from being mostly single star systems to having a few binaries, some black holes, some rogue planets added to it. The actual jump points from planet to planet or star system to star system have changed as well. So some of them used to be large and now they're medium, and so on and so forth. But it's constantly iterating on itself. It's constantly evolving, the star map. So as they go through and work on the lore for each star system that they've been posting in the Lore Maker's Guide and the ARK Galactopedia, they are updating the star map to make it match the data that they're releasing. So if you pay attention to the Galactopedia updates, then you will see what's happening in the star map as well as they go through and update them.
That's a very good point. Thank you. So yeah, as far as I remember, I think the star map came out in 2016, and it was great. They won several awards.
Was it 2015? I think it was 2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it won several awards when it came out because it was amazing and still is amazing because it's like a mini game on your browser basically. So those awards that they won were well deserved.
Yeah.
So the future major expansion plans for the map are in the works. Addition of real-time data coming from the game simulator, more models to represent the other elements and phenomenon in space, as well as possibly support for orbital mechanics. With the advent of 3D browser standards like WebVR, maybe integration with virtual reality devices. The final list is still in the works, but you can be sure you're expanding it and using the map to allow you to interact with the game universe, even when you're not connected with the game client. And so, yeah, that was just that's what the future is for the star map. What do you think? If you had any suggestions for the star map, do you have any? What would you like to see?
I would like to see different types of binary systems or multiple star systems in general. So we do have several quite a few binary systems on the ARK Starmap, but they're all what are called P-type binaries, which is like if you've seen Star Wars, Tatooine is a planet that orbits 2 stars. Well, those are the only types of binary systems that they have in Star Citizen. But in reality, in the real world universe, there's another type of binary system called an S-type, where there are 2 stars that are widely separated, each with their own system of planets. And from a gameplay aspect, that would mean that you might only need to use your quantum drive. You have to have a fast one, but you'd be able to go from one star system to another just from quantum travel rather than going through a jump point. So just to change it up, I'd like to see them maybe add some diversity there.
Cool. Anyone else has anything they would like to see added or changed?
I want to see more rogue planets, more multi-star systems as well, because I believe, I might be wrong, but I heard that there are more binary star systems in the universe than there are single star systems. So,
Well,
supposed to be more common.
Yeah, they are common. In fact, one of the stars I mentioned earlier, Procyon, is orbited by, they orbit each other, a white dwarf.
Right, and
so
we
we're
have
constantly finding small dim stars orbiting single stars. So,
yeah, close to us we have Alpha Centauri and Proxima Centauri, and Alpha Centauri system itself is a trinary system.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that for a long time. We knew it was at first we thought it was just a single star, and then as our scopes got better, we realized that it was 2 stars. And then as we got better at detecting small backlit, unlit things like planets, they detected that there's a small dwarf star going around there as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, and that they travel together, that they're gravitational, that Proxima Centauri is gravitationally bound.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got in Discord a chat over here. So how about something to calculate the time between it takes to go from one system to another, or one planetary body to another? So currently we have distance, but not really time, because it doesn't calculate time. So I think that'll be
there is a timer on the star map in game.
Yep.
When you select to go from one location to another with quantum travel, underneath the distance there's a timer. It's in seconds, and it tells you how long it will take your quantum travel time to get from point A to point B. So it's there.
That's not in the
But
not in the ARK Starmap.
That's in the game, but that's not your character.
Right.
That's
Because that depends on what quantum drive you have, because each quantum drive has a different speed. Each size is smaller. Smaller ones are slower than the bigger ones. So I don't know how they would do it on ARK Starmap unless you select your quantum drive that you're using, and then it can figure it out. Because that's a variable that needs to be known, or it can't figure them out.
I mean, the only thing it does do in terms of a little bit of a technicality, it does let you know how many flight distances on the ARK map itself. You can set up a route, and it does tell you how many jumps it takes. You can jump between small, medium, or large size wormholes, and then it'll tell you how much of an AU it will take in terms of distance, and you can view your route to see what route it takes you from. So it does have something like that on the star map. On the ARK Starmap, by the way, on the website.
And if you know your distance and you know your speed, then you should be able to find your time, no problem.
Yeah, Kelosal used the term AU, which means, for the people that don't know, that means astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, 93 million miles for us Americans. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this is an intergalactic system, so maybe they should switch to, I don't know, some intergalactic unit.
Well, when you're going across, when you're going across the system, like we have, different units of measure, because like going across the system, you wouldn't use like a parsec or a light year. You use AU because it's a much smaller distance. And with jump points, we're going through wormholes. We're not actually traveling through like normal space time. So they'll have to figure out like, okay, how much distance is covered in how much time in a wormhole, which we don't know that yet, before they would be able to like calculate how long it takes you to get from the Stanton Pyro jump point to Pyro.
And Roger, I think light minutes would be better. There's a whole bunch of different units that people could be.
Yeah, you could use light minutes, but AU just it's so easy, because like we know how far the Earth is from the sun. Like the average person kind of has some
Yeah, so,
idea.
yeah, like some people say sometimes in the experience they would say light seconds or light minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
ah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's all valid.
it just takes them you getting used
Yeah.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I
I
would,
mean,
speaking of the future, what I would like to see is more integration of the ARK Starmap from the web into the game. I'm
Yes.
noted that they are that's what they want to do, but I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Blight, Kai asked a question about, Waterworld planets and things like that. I got Kai to answer that question. Give me a species that at least is aquatic, and then we can talk about that. I haven't seen so yet. If you can get a species in there, like in addition to the Tavaran and the Shion that is aquatic, I guarantee you'll see Waterworld start springing up left, right, and sideways.
Oh yeah, there are water worlds in the Star Citizen universe.
I think one of them's called Hydro, even, or Hydra.
Mhm. All right, so up next we're going to take a look at an early work in progress video of the ARK Starmap. This is from 2015. So, Dr. Miller, you're around this time. You want to tell people about this, if you can?
This was originally something that I believe early Kickstarter backers and early stretch goal backers received as a star map room for your hangar module, but it never came out. The hangar module updated after this to the newer hangars that most of us are familiar with, and this just seemed to get put off into something else. And then they released the star map in 2015, so that was kind of the end of this. I've heard that it's coming back with persistent hangars, that the idea of it will be there again, and so they might put them in, but it depends on how persistent hangars turn out. We don't have any clue yet.
Start off in the cartography in the Carrack.
I know,
I'll be
right?
fine with that.
Cartography deck.
Just start off there, and then we can go ahead and bring in everything else. But I'll be fine with just that part. Amazing.
That looks amazing. This is the first I've seen it today. Like I hadn't seen this video until today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I did see this back in the day, but I just completely forgot about it. So it's almost like watching it new again. But I do like how all the colors of the stars match the colors of the types, and yeah, it's just very cool. And I agree. Like the Kirk and other ships should definitely get this, but I would love to see this in a hangar as well. Oh, it goes flat too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The ARK Starmap goes 3D and flat as well.
Yeah, you can look at a 2D representation. I don't know why you want a 2D representation, but yeah, you can.
Maybe it's easier to understand for our primitive monkey brains. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some people, especially especially the older you get, 2D is easier to understand. But it's especially great if you can rotate it and stuff like that to in 3D space. So
yeah.
All right. So up next we have size. So I think Jade, you're up. This is from Polygon.
Oh, you got to give me the one from Polygon. I'm joking. Just to give you an idea, Roberts said, fumbling for a way to communicate the sheer massive size of the upcoming release. The playable area on the large world map that we're currently using is 1 million kilometers by 1 million kilometers by 200 kilometers high. We reached out to the Star Citizen team for clarification, and it seems that Roberts actually understated the size of that space. The goal for the release stands at a space that is actually 400 kilometers high, a volume of 400 quadrillion cubic kilometers.
Wow.
Space is vast.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
That's big. In Star Citizen too.
And I remember a video showing there's a graphic showing the different planetary size. I'm not sure if that's coming up, but yeah, this is turned out to be a big game, and space is vast, and people were saying, oh, the planets are only 1/6 the size, and people underestimate how big that even 1/6 the size of Earth is. So that's a lot of ground to cover. People are also worried that when land claims become available in the game, that there won't be enough space, but there'll be plenty of space. There's only like I mean, I'm saying only, but there's only like 3 million accounts, or around 3 million accounts, and you that even that won't fit up one moon. So yeah.
Yeah.
So any other thoughts about size before we go on?
I mean, it obviously matters from the standpoint of what kind of, Star Citizen is a game about choices and what kind of choice you're going to make on what ship or what components, what quantum drive you put in your ship. That's all determined by what you see on, this ARK Starmap.
You heard it here first, guys and gals. Size does matter.
Size matters,
I was gonna leave it
exactly.
alone.
That's exactly.
I was gonna leave it
I set
alone.
you up for that. See,
I was wondering if Pascal was going to take it.
I thought it was gonna be fastcart.
Yes, I was gonna be good, but I'm glad someone else did it for once. So thank you for that, Kelosal. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Anytime.
Up next, we had the star system. So, in total, there are 95 known star systems consisting of 324 planets, 74 moons, 50 space stations, 76 asteroid formations, and even some stranger sites. And this is from the ARK Starmap. Don't put the link in chat. So yeah, that's a lot of systems, right?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe.
I mean, yes and no. I would say yes from the standpoint of me being, somebody that's been in Star Citizen and seen just how detailed it is. But sometimes when you
Cool.
tell people who have never jumped in the Star Citizen universe, there's, going to be like 100 systems. If they're looking at it from like No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous, they think that's a small amount, but they don't realize how much content there's going to be, right? And in those systems, and Chris Roberts' vision of 100 system versus a game that has like thousands of systems, that are all basically the same, versus Star Citizen where you have a lot of variation. It doesn't really matter if it's only 100 systems if they're all vastly different from each other. So from a gameplay standpoint, I think it's a lot. From an
Especially if
astronomical
they're all,
standpoint, it's a lot. It's little, but from Star Citizen standpoint, that's a lot of content.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially when you consider that they are 1/6 the size of a normal planet. So I
right. I
mean,
mean,
yes,
there's
they might scale that down because of the planetary size. Considering like when we got procedural planet, that increased the size of how big a planet was going to be. But yeah, so going from 100 systems to whatever the current plan is, even if you do get it 100 systems, that'd be a lot of land.
Yeah, a
right.
lot of land and a lot of stuff for players to explore. A lot of places for you to put down your settlement and not be bothered if that's your thing. That's what I love about it. Is that there's going to be some place for everybody in this universe.
Right. And I mean, in addition to all that, I mean, guys, I know we talk about No Man's Sky and we talk about Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous has procedurally generated systems and planets and things like that. But a lot of, no disrespect to Elite Dangerous or even No Man's Sky, going back to Elite Dangerous, a lot of those planets or moons you can't even land on. You have to just fly by or things like that and so forth. If you're looking at 95 known star systems, we're not talking about a DLC. Right, as of right now, when the game comes out or later on down the line, it's going to be 95 known star systems, and maybe 10 years down the line, they're going to add 95 more. And look at this. Look at the size of Stanton system versus Pyro. Pyro is huge. It is huge. So I mean, there's a lot of space for everyone, including people that's not even in the game yet or simulation. So I mean, I'm excited, even with 95 known systems and 324 planets and 74 moons and 50 space stations and 76 asteroids and blah, 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 and the list goes on and on. I mean, it's going to be a lot of other things later on down the line that's going to just keep you in the game.
I believe those numbers are wrong now.
It could be, absolutely. I mean, we're just pulling up information from 2015?
2015, yeah.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
So obviously this has changed,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every habitable planet is going to have its own space station, and then there's supposed to be Lagrange space stations. Like most systems are supposed to be filled in like Stanton is. Like any of the populated habitable worlds are going to have a lot of things in them.
Yeah, thanks
And
for that reminder,
ones that
Doc.
aren't, the ones that aren't are still going to have some space stations, so you can get across them.
Yep.
So
Good reminder.
Yeah, so just to clarify and make the point very known, yeah, a lot of this data is from 2015, and CIG has expanded on it, so you can probably expect more or a lot more depending on how far CIG is willing to go. But yeah, this is from 2015, so this is as we know it. Put it that way. All right, so I think next we have a video that we're gonna yeah. So let's go to the
White
video.
Castle.
The ARK is proud to introduce StarMap version 1.0. Utilizing the vast libraries of data, the ARK has developed this interactive software to provide a comprehensive and informative way to study the known universe as it currently stands. This is not a static product. The ARK will provide consistent updates to the StarMap whenever new data is verified, and ultimately link it directly into the Galactopedia. Once you've loaded the star map, you will arrive at the galaxy view, which shows all known systems in the Star Citizen universe. At the top of the screen, you will find a toolbar for general settings: Galaxy View, System View, Celestial Object View. And on the right side, you will find the Audio toggle and Full Screen toggle. At the bottom of the screen, there is another toolbar for StarMap tools: Search, Bookmarks, Routes. We will explain these tools a bit later in the video. To browse the StarMap, simply use your mouse wheel or touchpad to zoom in or out. Click and drag to rotate the camera. Right-click on an object in order to view the contextual menu. If you select Inspect, the camera will zoom in on that object. If you select Information, an information box will appear on the top right corner of your screen. If you select Routing, you will access the routing tool. Choose a destination and it will display a couple of routing options. If you select Bookmark, the object will be saved in your bookmarks for easy access in the future. You must be logged in to use the bookmark feature. Simply click outside the menu in order to close it. There are many known systems in the Star Citizen universe. Use the filters below to view routes, small, medium, large, factions, and long-range sensors. Use the search tool to quickly find a given system. You are now in System View. You can right-click on any celestial object in that system. You will see an example of the information box in the top right corner of your screen. Click outside the menu to close the information box. Click on the sensors to view life forms, economy, and crime. To use the routing tool, enter your departure point and destination point. You can step through all the route segments until you reach your destination. If you click on a jump point, you will be instantly transported to that system. Some systems have not been fully mapped out, and the ARK probe network will let you know if its data is incomplete. With the recent addition of the social module in ArkCorp and the upcoming Galactopedia, the Star Citizen universe is taking shape faster than ever. Whether you want to plan to join Operation Pitchfork or lay the groundwork for your trade empire, the StarMap will let you keep up with its pace directly from the site.
Internet Explorer 11 Plus, so I guess that updated the edge now. So yes, yeah, that was a video on how to use the ARK Starmap, and I just want to point out real quickly. They mentioned Operation Pitchfork. I don't know if new players will be familiar with it, so I'll explain. Operation Pitchfork is a event that's planned at the end of beta before the game launches to take the players up against the Van Duel, take back the Vega system or wherever the Vandal may be situated, and it should be in lore whatever happens if we win or lose. We'll probably lose, but there should be something in lore just before the game launches. That's what Operation Big Fork is. So yeah, what do people think about the video, Colossal?
I think it's brilliant. Like I said, the map itself is one of the best things I've ever seen. The best, arguably, one of the best maps I've seen on any social media platform, gaming platform, website, doesn't matter. It's one of the best ones. And then for them to put out a video instructing people on how to actually navigate around it is phenomenal.
Jade, any thoughts about the video?
Yeah, you know, like just to reiterate what Colossal said, it's amazing. I mean, the map itself the video's informative. It gets somebody started in how to navigate it. I remember, I became a backer in December 2016, so it wasn't that long after this came out. And I remember this was one of the reasons I became a backer. When I saw those systems and started really clicking on them, reading the lore for these different planets, I was like, wow, they've already thought this out. They're using real spectral classes of stars. They've got, the habitable zones right. Like this is nice. I want this game. So yeah, that was how I saw it.
Cool. Dr. Murray?
Yeah. No, I mean it's hard to follow Jade. She says everything I'm gonna say anyway, so it's like, all right, what she said.
All right.
I mean,
what? Go ahead.
The one other thing that I want to go ahead and point out, because a lot of people are always looking at the basics of this map, which is, you right click and you get the information, the routing or routing, whatever you call it, the bookmark. But then there's that other part in there that talked about the population. And I remember seeing that when I first got on this map years ago. You start seeing these arcs around the planet or the moon that you select. And it shows you different different types of graphs in terms of population or things like that. I think people need to check that out too, because that's amazing. You get to determine if there's a populated planet or not, a populated moon or not, and see where the resources could go once they put quanta and quantum in. So just look that out and check that out with the star map.
Yeah, again, I'm going to put the link in chat so people can follow along. But yeah, so I think we have some facts and lore to get through. So yeah, you can click on the brand new UE Vandal Xeon developing and unclaimed. I think people may not understand what developing and unclaimed may mean. So
I can do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so a developing world, like if you're familiar with Star Trek, they have the Prime Directive, right? And that means like you can't interact with these places that have developing civilizations, or in Star Citizen, it's not even just civilizations, it's places that have life that could develop into a civilization. So those are off limits except for scientists that are studying them. So those are the developing worlds. The unclaimed worlds or unclaimed systems are systems that no major faction claims. And an example of that for players that were around back when we had My Home, Levski, Delamar, which is supposed to be in the Nix system, that's an unclaimed system. So it's same as with Pyro. These are systems that aren't part of the UE, they're not Banu, they're not Xeon, but they may be inhabited by humans that aren't
Jade,
part of this. Yes?
Jade, I thought TPR claimed Delamar.
TPR is from Levski, so it's on Del. No. The People's Alliance do run Delamar. Like that's
Okay.
I don't know. We don't know if they run the rest of the Nix system. That remains to be found out. But yes, they have their own government in that system that is not the UE. They have their own laws and they're their own faction, but they're not shown on this map because they're not a major faction like the Xeon, the Banu, or the Vandal.
Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
So, Dr. Murray, you have any place that you would like to visit on the star map?
I'm gonna visit all of the binary stars And I've got to go
No,
to
like
Goss.
on the map right now. Where would you like to system that you would like to
Oh,
visit on the map right now?
Bacchus.
Bacchus.
Oh, wow.
Bacchus.
Go to Bacchus.
Let us know how you come out of that one.
It's a binary star system. It's also considered to be, but we're not sure, the Bennu homeworld, or the orbits in the back.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now.
It's got a G-class star, kind of like our sun, and a little smaller orange K class. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh wow. Yeah, it's been
But
a
this
while
is-
since I've visited the
That's
map.
where your
Go
Bennu
ahead.
merchantman might be made.
This
We
is-
don't know.
Might be.
where-
Might
Might
be.
be. Might be.
Might be. This is what Jay was talking about, the binary stars, though. That this is always an S type, where it's a star orbiting a star in close proximity. Where in other P type, where more common, from my understanding, more common in the universe is the separated stars in like an S type or a Y
Yes,
type.
absolutely.
Where they're all affecting each other's orbits, but their center of gravity, their center of orbit is not in the middle between them. It's skewed.
Like
off
Alpha
of them.
Centauri is an S-type binary. Each
Trinary.
star could have or multiple star system, because we
Multiple
only say
star
trinary,
systems.
right? Like so each star in Alpha Centauri system has, or well, it's thought to probably have its own planetary system, because they're that widely separated. But if
Right.
you're looking at
Axes
the
and-
Bacchus, all the planets orbit those two stars, kind of like
Thanks for the
Tatooine does in Star
follow.
Wars.
Right.
And all the
Cool.
systems in Star Citizen are like, all the binary systems in Star Citizen are like this for now. They may change.
Yeah, they probably were the same a ways back, but yeah, they're like we said, they're iterating on a star map, so probably change along the way. But Dr. Mo, you have another system that you have an interest in? do
Goss
you
is a
recommend
system
visiting?
that I want to go to because it's the bougie world.
Ooh, yeah.
What was that?
That's where you take your 890.
That's right.
Kelosal perked up when he just heard that just now. So tell us about this system again.
I think it's GOSS.
Yeah, Goss.
Oh gosh.
Goss 2 is beautiful.
It's like the
It's called Pastel.
what is that? Is that like the system in Star Trek? That little vacation spot.
Yeah, like Rigel.
Right.
Rigel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It
that's
was
actually
your
in
planet.
the map too. But yeah. So
But Castle's like
that's the
a
system.
mostly water world.
Mhm.
So there's lots of beaches and everything's built around these beach resort looking things. And yeah, that's where the 1890 jump picture where it's sitting on a landing pad over a beach and there's all the water and then looks like a resort and some skyscrapers that look resorty off to the distance. That's on Goss. That's in Castle.
Yeah, I really do
Mhm.
hope that they make Castle into like Star Citizen's version of Ryza.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Riser, you're right. That's the right Joel. That's the wrong one. Yeah, Castle. Okay, cool. Make a note of that. Kelosal, do you have any system you would like to visit?
I don't even know the name of this. Maybe Jay can help me out here, or maybe Dr. Murray. That's one system that has the either the planet or the a space station that's just made by nothing but ships or
Oh, Spider.
that one right there. So whatever system that is in, that's one I really want to look at. But I'm a lore guy. I'm very interested in Vega. I'm interested in Virgil. I want to go to Tiber and I want to go to Ryan. I want to see those systems that were.
You only choose two, man. Just two.
I gave you 10,000 of them. I just want to go to those systems that I want to see how they look after the Vanduul ramsack through it.
Yeah, so
You know,
Spider orbits in a system called Cathcart, which is like run by pirates.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, what? Oh,
I see
it's a
it.
cat's card.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Fast
Cathcart is a massive 80 main sequence stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see it.
So this is cat's card here. Okay, yeah. This is I was excited about this when I first heard about it, but then I discovered it's gonna be a pirate haven. So I'm like, I can't even visit it, even though it has my part of my name in it, so I was disappointed. Oh well. Yeah.
fastcart system.
So, but you said Spider and Vegas, right?
Yeah,
Colossal.
Virgil, Vega, Odin. I mean, not Odin. All the systems that the Vandals, Tiber, Orion, those systems that the Vandal ran through. You know, this little
Yeah,
speech.
Vegas probably will be in Squadron 42, or maybe featured in Squadron 42, because that's where the Bishop beat take place after the attack on Vega.
Yeah, see, I'm looking for like debris. I'm looking for, you know, a major battle, major wars. Of course, you have to jump on the planets to see. I want to see what was left behind, you know?
Yeah.
Not much. Not
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
You're gonna
Yeah,
find a
not
bunch
much.
of those harvesters is what you're gonna find. They're gonna be
Yeah,
looking for
Dwellers and
you.
harvesters, yeah. Probably. Yeah, take your vulture and your reclaimer along with you, and have them protecting too.
Mm.
So I'm gonna take Jade, then I'll go last. So Jade, what two systems you're interested in?
Well,
Why?
okay, well,
I recommend visiting. Put it that
I'm going
way.
to be a little controversial here and say Terra because
Oh, you took mine.
Origin Jump, exactly. Origin Jump. I didn't know it was yours though. Origin Jump Works is based in New Austin in the Terra system. So first I'm going to go there and pick up a brand new ship. And then I will probably want to go to Gliza because I love the fact that, first of all, it's named, they actually named it after an astronomer. And it's also where the No-Go ancient ruins, there's a planet called No-Go that this is a Banu system. The Banu won't go there. And I want to find out why. I know there's ancient ruins there. I like exploration. I like science. I'm taking my ship straight to Gliza.
It's
And
covered in.
Well, right
It's
now,
covered in
right now we're
Roundup.
looking at. I'm sorry. Well, right now we're looking at Terra, and this is the system that I was gonna recommend, because this is gonna be like the cradle of humanity, because Earth is old and busted, and this is the new hotness.
yeah, it is.
Old and
It
busted.
literally
All
is.
the busted.
That's going to be the new capital of the
What did
UE.
Dr. Murray, you said something that was interesting. What did you say?
I don't remember. In regards to what?
Get out about the
Glycer, in regards to Glycer.
Oh, a Glycer. Yeah, I was just saying that there's like the planet's covered in fungicide or fertilizer or something like that, which keep the Banu away because they're trees.
Okay. Some other like standout points of interest for systems for people would be like Baker. If you like racing, because they have the Able Baker challenge there. Also, if you like racing, you're going to want to go to the Ella system. That's where the Murray Cup is. That's where green is. So if you do anything in the racing part of Arena Commander, that's where that takes place.
That's also named after me, by the way.
Yeah. Lear, of course, because Sandworm on Lear 3. But also, if you play that Good Doctor map in Star Marine, that takes place on a planet called Maya, which is in Lear Lear 2's called Maya. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm sure people that are into Drake would probably want to see their headquarters. It's in Magnus. So there's a lot.
yeah.
I mean, you can really dig
Yeah.
into this map.
So access to Terra will probably be a lead system. I hate to say it, and possibly Soul as well. Yeah, I don't know about Soul, but I think Terra will probably after Soul. But that's just my guess on how the development will be. But yeah, it is like there's going to have to put a lot of effort and work into Terra and Soul, because those will be the two places that players will probably visit the most and quickly as possible. What do you got all that?
As long as you can show me where Addison's office is, I would gladly go to Terra, because I believe she's over there in Terra, isn't she?
I mean, she likes Terra.
Yeah,
you know,
isn't she from Terra? She's a senator from Terra, right?
Yeah, but she has to live, I think, on Earth now, because that's technically the headquarters of the UE.
The seat of the government.
Yeah, that's a step down for her.
Theory crafted. Don't they want to move the system over to Terra anyways? The whole UE.
They can They can terraform planets. Earth is fine.
Right now we're looking at next, and this is like, oh, can you travel through the wormholes? People can see what that looks like for people. And I think that's pretty interesting. If we can go through that disc, yeah, that's pretty cool. And remember, they were doing that in 2015, and this is one of the reasons why people loved the star map. It's very, very cool. Two systems that I was going to recommend. We already talked about one. One is Terra. The other one is Tamsa. And as soon as you bring that up, that I'll explain why. But Tamsa, the system, can't say that people should go to, but I mean, if you have an expendable ship that maybe you can get rid of, don't care about, Tamsa is one. And we put that. Yeah.
I believe Tamsa is also the most recently discovered system, and it was happened after the launch of the game in 2942. It happened in 2943 or 44 is when the Tamsa. Oh wait, I bet I had it says on this list. It does. Yeah, 2943.
Oh, that's on Pyro 3 right now. That's what we stopped on. So,
we're still on Pyro.
Oh, Pyro 3 was changed from being a lava planet as far as the last video that we saw on CitizenCon. So, yeah. But yeah, so if you go to Tamsa, real quick, I'll say it's a point of interest. Put it that way.
Yeah, and then there's also Min, which is just a rogue planet. There's no star at all, but there's a jump point to it for some reason. MIN.
There we go. Yeah, this is Tamsa. Tamsa had a black hole. So I don't know how powerful the black hole or how far away the wormhole will be from the black hole, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty dangerous if you try to go there.
Yeah. See, what you can do is you can right click it, and under the third choice says avoid. Please select that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Just stay outside the Schwartz.
Yeah. Good God.
Yeah, we don't know how far that'll be from the black hole or from the wormhole. So yeah, you might want to avoid this system altogether. But
yeah,
if I have the expendable ship and I have some way of escaping the system, as soon as I try to figure it out, I'm going to try to visit. So yeah, that's Tamsa.
Wow, the population is none. The economy is very small to none, and there is very little to no threat.
Why?
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's a black
The only
hole.
fun thing to do on Tamsa, is to shoot probes right next to the event horizon to see them get ripped in half and spaghettified.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that might be a sport in, the stars of the universe.
Like closest to the hole in golf, closest to the black hole.
Exactly.
Oh, so Tamsa has an actual planet. Yeah, I forgot about that, or it's been a while since I visited. But yeah, so yeah, the other two systems were Terra and Vega, but we already been there.
Yeah, and planets can orbit black holes in real life. They can.
That makes sense. Okay. Just don't expect any life or if it had volcanic activity or something like that. The life is probably very close to zero.
I'd expect if it's that it's going to be really cold and be irradiated also by hard radiation from X-ray radiation, stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of gamma radiation coming.
Yeah, a lot of gamma, a lot of X-ray. Not good for life, but
gamma's the stuff that murders you.
Might be fun for a second. That's
it. It doesn't turn you into the Hulk. It just
it does not. It just clears apart your DNA.
Big news.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a Q&A right now. So Black Sky Legion says, so emotionally hairless monkeys, thank you very much, living in the orbit of Sol, which is very subjective view on the concept of Goldilocks zone, but the fact that different stars will have different ranges for this and the whole life it will evolve in that zone based on the carbon-based life form, it's very similar to human. What essentially or races or other factors would depend on to see to explain life developing outside of our preconceived notion. So I'll copy that question and put it in chat so people can read it. But what kind of life form you would like to see in Star Citizen?
Are you going to order? Or...
Yeah, Jade, go. You can go first.
All right. I would like to see. There's two things. I'd like to see a non-humanoid intelligent species, right? Like get out of the trope and put a species in that does not walk on two legs and looks like a Hollywood alien, right? Or just an animal that's walking on two legs. Like I'd like to see something really truly alien, and I'd also like to see, it's thought by people within the search for extraterrestrial intelligence that the most likely type of alien intelligence we would discover would be machine intelligence, right? Or some form of hybrid between cyborg or whatever, like the Borg. I'd like to see that, right? Because they would live long, right? And they'd be, like super intelligent. They wouldn't need to hang out in a habitable zone because they're post biology. They're technology. So I'd like to see that.
Colossal.
I do like to see two. I mean, a lot of them, but one in particular is a species like 672 or 84.
Oh no!
In fluidic space,
8472.
8472. I love
8472,
fluidic
yeah.
space. I would love to see a system that is like a fluidic space, and you see that. Another type of species that I would love to see is a species that actually everything they do is based, if not, it has nothing to do with technology. Is everything they build is everything based off of life or bios. Their ships are lively, are alive. You walk on a live ship. The ships are living. I would love to see that type of a species. I would also see I would love to see a species who's completely in the dark. In other words, they do not like illuminescence whatsoever.
Maybe they don't even have eyes.
Right,
Yeah, maybe they use like echolocation or something.
Correct. Some type of sonar or something like that.
Did you know
love to see that.
it only takes 6 weeks for a human to learn how to echolocate?
No.
I did hear that.
Yeah. We travel in the same circles.
We do, Dr. Murray. I'm surprised we've never actually met in the real, but yeah.
Yeah, but those would be my three types of.
Axis asks a good question in chat. Like they say, I wonder what the Krathak are. We don't know.
Yeah.
The
Krathak. We'll find out.
The Krathak are a bug-like species. They're an insectoid.
You think
species.
so?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm making it up as I go along, but that's what they are.
I really hope. I really hope it's something that's like really just alien. Like if
They look
Geon or
they look like centaur horn beetles.
Yeah, I mean, if the Geon are fighting them.
So, Dr. Moo, what species would you like to see in Star Citizen?
Well, I happen to think that the most common form of life in the universe is going to be aquatic. So I would like to see aquatic species, and because from what we understand, heat and water turns into life after a long enough period of time. Mm-hmm. So and there is tons of hydrogen and oxygen in the universe.
Yep.
So
some of the most common elements, water, unlike a lot of things that you see in sci-fi, water is actually extremely plentiful in the universe. And worlds with water, even like moons with locked oceans, like some of the moons in our solar system, like Europa or Enceladus. Yep. Those are probably going to be really common in our real universe, and I would expect them to be kind of common in Star Citizen. We have Yella, in the Stanton system, which is supposed to kind of be like that. But something. And in lore, Yella has an underwater, a series of underwater caves. So maybe there will be life down there.
Yeah, and the other thing, anybody who's read my book knows that I want to see a dog-like species, like a canine. Anthropomorphic, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Like McGruff, the police dog.
Like
Griff.
Like McGruff, the police dog.
It's Griff, crime dog. Yeah.
Crime dog.
Yes. McGriff.
I'm going old school. I'm showing my age with that one. Sorry about that. So my answer, I know we have Pico, and I know that Pico is based off of actual penguin, but maybe adult size penguin, like how Ewoks are basically miniaturized to Wookiees. Maybe humanoid penguins. So that's something that I might be interested in.
Look, just go ahead and take the Picos that you have right now and make them live citizens of Microtech. Okay, I'm serious. That's all you gotta do. I mean, you already got the plushies. Just make them live citizens of Microtech, and it'll just be a wonderful thing. And maybe make them like the mindset of a Jawa. You know, they like to sell things and things like that, and they sell them themselves. I think toys.
Oh no,
like
not
that.
Jawas, not Jawas.
Strip your ship while you're off doing a mission. Yeah.
Just taking parts from your ship, giving it back to you.
Yeah, selling it back to you.
Dark Knight said those would be the most vicious creatures on the earth. They were scared of Vandal, probably. All right, so up next we have another question from Black Sky Legion. So much of the sci-fi planets are very monolithic, i.e. either entire desert planet or like Tatooine, like ice planets like Hoth. But the real science much more support the idea of multiple and varied biomes in many planets. As she has quite smartly included these. One huge exception will be water worlds. Is there anything that any of the panelists would like to see done to meaningfully bring water world to light, i.e. water underwater biome?
Yes.
I believe Helios is a water world.
You beat me to it. Yeah, there's the Tangaroa Islands on one of Helios' worlds. What I'd like to see would be, you know, like on a water world. It's going to depend on like the mass of it and where it is. But on some of them, I'd like to see them actually like have ice caps that, you know, aren't actually like, or how about this? You have
an
a
O-class
water
star too.
Yep. What's that?
It's why I like Helios so much.
It's a B class main sequence.
Oh, it's a B. Okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed way far in. I was like, holy cow, it's an O class.
I'd like to see, right?
Not
They're
bright enough.
tidally locked water worlds or tidally locked Earth-like worlds near these little M dwarfs that would have like that kind of look like an eyeball. We call them eyeball Earths because on one side you have the thing lit up hot, right? And then you have on the other side frozen. But there's this temperate band, right? That would be a temperate biome that would kind of like make this whole thing sort of like if you're far away from it, kind of like looking like an eye. So an eyeball Earth around an M dwarf, M class main sequence red dwarf would be wonderful. So CIG, if you're listening to this, make an eyeball Earth.
I actually wrote about that in my book as well. I had a planet like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the two of you, Dr. Mary and Jade, I agree on that one. Right? Am I correct? Dr. Mary, you want to expand on that one, or that's similar for you?
Sorry, coughing. No, I that's pretty much it. Like, I want to see water worlds, more water worlds. That's why I like Helios so much. That's why I remembered it, because I know there's a water world there.
I just love the fact that at Helios they have a station called Hephaestus Station. If you don't know about Hephaestus, you need to look up your mythologies.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and explain it, Kelosal, real quick.
Hephaestus made all, if not most, of the weapons that the Greek gods. Zeus's tridents, the tridents, and things like that, and so forth. I think he was married to was it Aphrodite or the other one of the beautiful ones. And so he is a major figure in either in Greek mythology. He made
I'm pretty
made
sure
tridents.
Aphrodite.
Yeah, it's Aphrodite, I believe. And this,
Black College said Aphrodite.
Yep, there you go. So it makes sense that UE uses their military and they hide everything over there because they have a station called Hephaestus, which basically makes sense that they may make important weapons or ships in that at that station. Don't know, but it's just just pay attention to the names.
Yep.
Yeah, they do name things in Star Citizen, so like sort of refer to
reasons.
The reason. Yeah.
All right. So up next we have a question from Jad. What is the likelihood that the jump network would be dynamic? The wormhole would relocate, change size, wink out. We have heard of wormhole discovery, but how dynamic will the entire network be? So that's from Jad. Dr. Murray, what do you think?
From what we've seen, it appears that they build these gates around jump points to stabilize them so they don't wander as much, so they don't wink out and just disappear. That the gate system is causing more stable jump points. But the jump points that you discover, like you're out in your Carrack, you find an anomaly, you go check it out, and it's a jump point. It goes to some random world. You go through it a few times, you exploit what you can, you come back, and then it just dissolves because that's going to happen. They said they're going to have jump points that come and go. Some will show up and be a shortcut. You'll be able to go from like Seoul to Stanton with a jump point that you discover, which is normally like 4 jumps away. So yeah, I want to see a more dynamic jump point system. So
Yeah, I think that they've mentioned that you know, jump points are going to always be, there'll be certain jump points that won't be stable, right? So like there's a system on the star map, you can maybe go to it, called Oratani, which was cut off. And I would love for like that Oratani jump point to open up and you find this civilization of humans that has been completely cut off from everybody for hundreds of years. Like, so I do hope that they do make the jump point network, jump points dynamic.
Colossal, any thoughts?
I mean, I agree with my, fellow panelists. It'll be wonderful. I mean, it'll put the character work, wouldn't it? And put other ships to
Yeah.
work that have those types of systems that'll be able to track that. I mean, that reminds me of that Star Trek episode when you had our lovely friends, the one with the big ears that Quark was a part of, the Ferengi.
The Ferengi.
Remember
You
that?
were gonna you stole what I was gonna bring up. I was gonna bring up the TNG episode. But
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the episode in TNG where Geordi and Data were having a collaborative mission with the Ferengi, at a stable wormhole. But it turned out the stable wormhole was not that stable. And Geordi and Data discovered that on the other side of the wormhole that they were not in a place that they were supposed to be after they gone through. So they went ahead and gone through and tried to get the Ferengi to follow them, but the Ferengi was, arrogant and thinking, oh no, it's stable. They were going to make a lot of money from this, but no, the wormhole just decided to break out, and they were left stranded. So yeah, I'm expecting something like that to happen in Star Citizen sometime. Like, you know that it's not a stable wormhole, but you don't know how unstable or the predictability of when it'll disappear or move will be suspect. So yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
expecting some people to get stranded sometime.
Yeah, I think we keep forgetting about those probes that we have on those ships. I mean, so you need to use them whenever they come in game, because if you got an unstable wormhole that's jumping like that, that's the first thing you want to send instead of your entire ship.
no, send it all. I don't even care. I'm still gonna send it.
Send them all. We'll send them all. We'll pull a Voyager. We'll see it with a couple of decades.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Up next,
We'll find a transwarp core.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Up next, we have a question from Poppin Space. What role would Evo Carrot play in mapping new star systems and wormhole and wormholes? Also, what function will drones play within that?
Oh, well,
yeah, anyone, go ahead.
yeah, like so like I mentioned Oratani, some systems say data incomplete. So if you have a Carrack and you have probes, that or the Odyssey, those places, those will be places you want to go. If there's incomplete data on the star map, you're going to want to definitely go there with a ship that's what it does. It gathers data to map out a system or map out jump points. So I think that's going to be the use for some of these exploration ships.
Okay, Dr. Murray, this one is for you. Would the canine race be good? Oh God!
Oh, you cut out. I didn't hear you.
This is from Jen and Tonic.
You keep cutting out when you say it.
Would the canine race be a good boy?
Oh,
Put it in. I put it in.
I
put it in
mean-
chat. That's what they say.
there are no bad dogs. That's what we say, right? Just bad owners. But I think that's a lie because I've met a bad dog.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think there would be good and bad boys and girls.
two races within the same species, perhaps.
Yeah.
If they put a dog species in, they have to put a cat species in.
Well, they can't because of the Kilrathi.
Well, no, they can. They
Mm.
just don't
I
call
think
them the Karafi. Call them something.
I
else.
think anything close to that, they would probably get sued because that's how EA is.
I've seen cat-like species in other sci-fi franchises.
Yeah, but not a Chris Roberts franchise.
Okay.
Like he's
so
when he was
Go ahead.
asked about it back in like 2014 CitizenCon, he said that he couldn't and he wouldn't. So and he just left it at
Fair.
that.
Yeah,
Because we
okay.
were like Kilrathi coming back or something like them, and he was like, no cats. So weird.
Oh my God, the Kilrathi were fantastic. I love those things.
I know they were,
I
just the costumes in the Wing Commander movie were so bad though.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
They were
bad.
so disappointed with that one. But,
That
you know,
was bad.
They didn't have time to change it or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, if people haven't seen the Wing Commander movie, do yourself a
Don't.
favor and check it out. Just one. Just
Don't
one.
watch it. Don't watch
And then watch the
it.
Star Wars.
It's not bad. I liked the movie. I thought it was okay. It wasn't all that bad.
I mean, the great thing about the Wing Commander movie, I know we're getting off topic here, but the great thing about the Wing Commander movie is that they actually invented bullet time before the Matrix.
That's true.
All right. So, next question is from Genitonic again. CRG hasn't even figured out how planetary revolution in a single primary system. How long do you think it'll take for systems with multiple primaries, or do you think they'll just fake it? So, how long do you think it'll take for a system with multiple primaries? Do you think that they'll just?
It's a
they'll
win
just fake it?
question. That's a win question. I'll put it this way. So once they get planets orbiting a single primary star, then it shouldn't be that difficult for them to simulate a barycenter. So, like you'd still have planets. That's why I think maybe all these binary systems are of the P-type. You'd still have planets orbiting two stars that are in orbit around a common center, right? So I don't think it's going to take that much longer after they get planets orbiting single stars. I hope that's a good answer.
Anyone else? All right, cool.
I mean,
This next
Space Engine does it. So, like, it's just mathematics. So
Yeah, it's just math.
That's mathematics. Okay, I like that answer. This one is
It's
from
easy
Axis.
math. Easy math.
Oh my God.
it's Kepler. It's
that is a
Keplerian
Ka-
math, right?
That's a I want to say Kalani, but Kilrathi.
Kilrathi.
It's a Kilrathi. Yes.
Next question from Axis. Do you believe that we will have eclipses, transit comets, and other believable astronomical phenomenal for us to study? So do you think we'll see eclipses in games?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. If you've got orbital motion,
Yep.
their artists are going to set it up so that there's eclipses.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. It's
But maybe not on.
just a matter of when, not if.
Maybe not on Sol after it gets vandalized.
Well, I mean, we still got the moon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
on
They're,
Earth, I mean,
they're not the
mean,
same scale though, so I don't know if it would work out.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's
same
the thing,
effects.
right? That when you
Yeah.
start doing like different scale for stars versus planets, then that does kind of like mess that up.
that's true. That's true.
If you
Yeah.
use a consistent scale for both the stars and planets, yes, you could have a solar eclipse on it.
But
I mean, like
they have-
if
they have different
everything
scales.
Is 1/6 the size. If everything is 1/6 the size, then it should be fine because everything is.
But it's not the-
But it isn't
The
Stars
moons are 1/10 size. Planets are 1/6. Moons are 1/10.
Yeah.
Stars are like
Yeah.
1/50th or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, I can't-
that's my only criticism actually, but I know they have reasons. So
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see CID messing up their solar system, their the Earth system like that, but we'll see. I can see them making our moon, the Earth moon, 1/6 size, just like the Earth is, but they're making an
Right.
exception just for
Yeah.
that.
They may just target that with other systems that isn't the solar system.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so just to at least give you the immersion of seeing that.
Yes, I said vandalized. That is correct.
Vandal.
Oh my God!
I see
I
what you
didn't even
did.
realize. Yeah, and this is just speculation on our part. This is anything that CIG has said. I did say I think. I don't see that them
Yes.
doing that, but we'll see what happens. Up next, we have a question from this is from Jen and Tonic. How long do you think it'll take for systems with multiple primaries? This is what we are.
Sorry.
We already answered that. Yeah,
I
we
didn't
already
realize
answered
that. Yeah, sorry.
No problem. All right, so that's it for the question.
Thank
So
you. These
I
are
want to
great
thank everybody
questions.
Yeah, thank you for that. I just want to thank everybody for joining us. Oh, TV Liquid.
Thanks for the
We're
raid.
just about the
Just
end.
came in with the raid.
So we've been talking about the ARK Starmap with Dr. Murray. And matter of fact, I just want to say thank you for Dr. Murray for joining us. Tell us again where we can find you.
So I stream every Tuesday and Thursday on a stream called /Gaming. We slash a variety of games. We're starting to stream more Star Citizen on Thursdays as the game gets more stable and my partner can tolerate playing it more. So Thursdays are mostly Star Citizen. Tuesdays we play things like Elden Ring, Deep Rock Galactic, Phasmophobia, just fun co-op games. And then I stream, my main stream is Wednesday at 1900 PST. It's called the Yacht Club /Yacht Club BC. And we talk about Star Citizen events that happen during the week. We let Joran monologue about nonsense. And that's pretty much what we do. We also show screenshots. I almost forgot about the screenshots.
Yes,
Yeah,
love our friends at the Yacht
can't
Club.
forget about the screenshot. And Black Guy Legion said, "Aren't you one of the original Yacht Club members?"
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, and Kelosal, where can people find you?
You find me in the verse, or especially
here on
here
Soul
during the
Citizen.
summer, and here on Soul Citizens, absolutely, especially running around with Test Squadron, Best Squadron. So, yeah, it's the summer, so I'm around, folks. Get me up for the next
If
3
you're
weeks.
really lucky, you may find him wandering around Chicago for whatever reason, right?
You've already been there twice in 3 weeks. You may see me a third time. You never know.
And Jade, where can people find you?
People can find me on Soul Citizen. Sometimes I come by Soul Talk. And sometimes I even play music on the People's Radio of Levski.
Wow.
Yeah, the People's Radio.space. I am the program director, but sometimes I do DJ. So yeah.
And people can find me on Twitter. I'm fastcart fast_cart on Twitter. You can find me here on Soul Citizens, and especially, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, sometimes you can find me on different shows. Sometimes Relay, sometimes a captain table. So I'm all over the place, but mostly on Twitter and here on Soul Citizen. I want to talk about our merchandise. We sell merchandise. We sell T-shirts, mugs, game pads, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We even sell long sleeve shirts now and water bottles. So we're having a video showing right there. So click the link below and check out our merchandise. We appreciate the support you give us. I want to say up next we have a show on Thursdays called Soul Talk. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. That's where we talk about what's going on in the Star Citizen community. We cover mostly stuff on the Comlink, cover Star Citizen Live, IRC, that's on a hiatus, unfortunately. And we cover Machinima, the Griffin finds for us. So yeah, that is our community talk show. On Saturday, we have Soul Voices. That's what we cover. That's also a community show, but that's more one-on-one. On both shows, people can come in on Discord and talk with us. But on Soul Voices, you come one-on-one and talk about the topic that we have on hand. We cover topics from Reddit, from Spectrum, and basically general industry news. And Sunday, Jade, do you want to tell us about our show on Sunday that you see on the screen?
Sure. Yes. So our show on Sunday is going to talk about the career of smuggling. So all of you who have, wanted to like smuggle, that's going to be the show for you. And yeah,
Remember, people, the first rule of smuggling is never fly a ship known as a smuggler's ship. That's the first rule of smuggling.
Good point.
and if
Well,
somebody tells you
Aston.
that they can make the jump in several parsecs, just don't believe them because it's a unit of distance, not time, right?
Right. So, Rajasthan, thank you for the 5 subscriptions. We appreciate it. Thank you for that. And everyone who got a subscription from them, tell them thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC. And also, we have a show on YouTube called Reacting Reviews and Reactions, or Reacting and Reviews, R&R. We talk about basically what's going on in movies and TV shows. Oh, before I forget, Saturdays we are part of we instituted Podsat. So Podsat Saturdays is back. We're first on with Soul Voices, that's Soul Citizen. Then go to Captain Table on the Afterpub at 6 p.m. Eastern, that's midnight UTC. And then followed by Relay Station on Relay SC at 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. So full day of our podcast. Okay, so I think that's it. So I want to thank everybody for joining us, and sorry for people who came in for the raid. We're just wrapping up. What was that? Real quick, I just got a message real quick. Oh, we are going to raid someone. So we're going to raid Dark Hour 717. Thank you for finding them for us. I'm a Christian. I appreciate it. So with that, I want to say one final thing, and then peace, love, and soul. Thank you, everybody.
Doodles.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Made the mistake of when she was young, letting her always sit in my lap until she got too big. Now she thinks that she can just sit in my lap. Soul Citizen, thank you very much. Holy cow. Welcome, everybody. We just got a raid from Soul Citizens with 129 people. Welcome, everyone. Great to see y'all. Hopefully you had a great stream and are having a lot of fun. We are actually heading out to Hurston to go to Aberdeen and start going after Cass Dent in the Arlington Gang mission.
We finished up some fantastic racing earlier, so if you guys look back on the video, the VOD, I think you put your VODs up, right? You can watch replays?
Well, yeah, it always goes up automatically.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they're pretty good
For
racing.
like, I think, 2 weeks.
Cool.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Soul Citizens, and welcome to those from TV Liquid as well. It's great to have you here. We're actually doing a special stream this evening, which is for charity to benefit veterans' mental health. And it's through stackup.org, a great organization that has programs to help not only citizens or veterans of the U.S., but also allied nations like the UK, Canada, Australia,